What's poppin', homies? It's your favorite homegirl, Gossip Girl, and today we're going to talk about Andre Bean because now one of the victims' mother has come out and said that Andre had a grudge against her son. So we're just going to go ahead and get into that as well. Now, Walmart manager Andre Bean held a grudge against one of the 6 co-workers that was murdered in the break room before turning the gun on himself, and this was said by the victim's mother. His name is Brian Pendleton. He was 38 years old when Andre, who was 31 years old, had went on a shooting rampage. Okay, so Pendleton's mother said he didn't have any problems at work except with Andre, who was his supervisor and allegedly felt animosity towards him. He just didn't like my son. Okay, and that was said by Michelle Johnson, which is Brian's mother. He would tell me that Andre would give him a hard time. Now, Brian was born with a brain disorder and grew up in Chesapeake, and his mother confirmed that. He had recently celebrated his 10th year anniversary working as a custodian at Walmart. The mass shooting took place inside a break room on Tuesday night, which we know that. Now, Brian made sure to be punctual. Although his shift as a custodian started at 10:30 p.m., he was in the break room when the shooting started just after 10. He always came to work so early because he wanted to be on time. He liked his co-workers. The victim's mom said the last time she heard from her son was when he called her before the start of his shift on Tuesday. I always tell him to call me when he gets off work. As she was getting ready for bed, she got a call from a family friend telling her there was a shooting at Walmart. Now, Brian was a happy-go-lucky guy. Brian loved family. He loved his friends. He loved to tell jokes. She said, we're going to miss him. The other victims of the senseless slaughter were identified as Kylie Pyle, 52, Lorenzo Gamble, 43, and Randy Belvin, 70, who were all from Chesapeake. Now, Tanika Johnson, 22, of Portsmouth, and a 16-year-old boy has not been named because he is a minor. A memorial of 6 crosses represented the 6 victims of the tragedy was put outside on Thursday at Walmart. Now, a witness to the mass shooting claimed Thursday that Andre seemed to be looking for specific co-workers to kill. The way he was acting like he was going hunting. And this is also said by Jessica, the same Jessica that he told to go home, okay? The way he was looking at people's faces and the way he did what he did, he was picking people out. Now, this is what I want to say. That I'm going to say this. This man was totally wrong for doing what he did. I'm not excusing it. I'm not taking up for it or anything like that. But he is looking for specific people, and it's confirmed here. He's looking at faces. He's looking at whose shift is what. Who came to work. Because I was on a live stream. Well, I wasn't on the live stream. I received a link from a friend. And the link that I was listening to is on Facebook. And it's by Rhoda Young reporting live. Okay. She was on the live stream talking to Andre's close friend. And the close friend was telling her everything that was going on with Andre and how much problems he was having at work. And that he told the higher-ups what was going on. And yesterday when I was reporting on this, I said he had an employment status because that's what was reported. Well, the employment status that changed was he wasn't a manager anymore. He was demoted down to an associate. Okay? And there was people bothering him, harassing him, and she said sexually harassing him. They was calling him gay, and he said he wasn't gay or anything like that. So he had some issues going on at work. No, he should not. I'm saying no, he should not have done what he did, because I'm not excusing the fact. Because some people are going to say, well, that still don't give him the right to do what he did. You're absolutely right. It does not. But see, when you are bullying people, when you are harassing somebody, you don't know what type of mindset this person is in. That's why bullying right now is the cause of a lot of these mass shootings. Not all of them, but most of them. Okay? Bullying, harassment, all these things, because you don't know what that can do to somebody. Now, she said that Andre has sent paper, wrote a letter to the higher ups of Walmart, and that even his best friend, his close friend, said she tried, contacting people so that they can look at these text messages and look at the emails he sent her. They need to get on that. Why are they dragging their foot getting this information from her when she's willing to give up the information that she has? Why? See, if he complained to the higher ups of Walmart what was going on and Walmart did nothing, this is on Walmart too. But I think more is going to come out. I think as time goes on, more is about to come out. But like I said, if you want to listen to that live stream, her name is Rhoda Young Reporting Live, and she's on Facebook. Okay, so now let me get back to this article. So, like Jessica was saying, the way he was acting as if he was going hunting, the way he was looking at people's faces, he was picking people out. And it also goes with the fact that he had people's names circled and written on a piece of paper. He was on a mission, because this been going on for a while. This just did not just start. This didn't just start. This been happening. So he got to his breaking point and he got tired of it. And that's why he planned out everything the way he did. His manifesto, his kill list. He planned this out because he already told the janitor that if anything was to happen to his job, he's going to retaliate. Okay? And that's also in the video that I did as well. He was going to retaliate. And they're going to remember him. That's what he said. That's what he said. Now, if somebody tells me that, I'm going to make sure, I'm going to say, you know what, listen, I don't want no parts of this, but I'm going to let it be known, hey, I'm going to call somebody. I don't know what's going on, but so-and-so said this. Okay? But maybe the guy that he told it to brushed him off. Was like, whatever. Because sometimes we do brush off things what people tell us. Like, they're not going to do nothing. They just talk. But honey, sometimes right now and nowadays, you have to listen to what people are saying. Because if somebody comes to you and say, hey, I'm going to do this in Target, or I'm going to do this at a food, store, you have to listen. Because you never know. They might just do it. So the fact that Andre had names printed out and circled, he had video footage printed out, okay, the video cameras. He had all this access to these things because he was the manager. All right, so he was going through a lot of stuff at work as well. And this is the result of what was going on. Now, everyone that he had murdered, I'm not sure that their names are on that list. I know some aren't, and I know some are. So she said he was picking people out. And what I do know is that he made sure who he wanted dead was dead. And that's also coming from Jessica. He went back and shot bodies that were already dead just to make sure that they were dead. Now, another news article also reported that Bing left a manifesto on his phone, and that also came from the Daily Mail, claimed to have they found a kill list in the trash at his home, which had the names of several co-workers circled, including Tanika Johnson. In his manifesto, Andre, who worked at the store since 2010, complained about changes to his employment and about his co-workers harassing him about it. Current and former employees at the Walmart store described Andre as mean, condescending, and the manager to look out for because he also had problems with colleagues. Okay, they saying that he was mean and condescending and all this kind of stuff. He worked there since 2010. So probably some of the people that he worked there just as long as him. Why? What made him that way? Okay, what made him that way? See, it's a lot that might come out and it's a lot that might not come out, okay? But like I said before, when you are harassing somebody and when you are bullying somebody and you picking on them, you don't know what type of mind frame they are in. I feel terrible for the victims, okay? This should not have happened. But his close friend said that Andre reached out to the higher ups of Walmart to complain what was going on with his co-workers and employees at Walmart, and they did nothing about it. So, does Walmart allow bullying and harassing? Why didn't they act fast? Because if they would act fast, guess what? This would not have happened. And also, if it's proof, because I think she has proof, if that proof comes out that everything she said on that live stream with Miss Rhoda, it's going to look like Walmart did drop the ball because they did nothing to help him with harassment. So, like I said, there's a lot in that live stream that was being said. If you want to go listen to it, you are welcome to listen to it. It's on Facebook. Her name is Rhoda Reporting Live. All right. But more and more stuff is going to come out about this. I have a feeling. I really do. I have a feeling that a lot of things are going to come out about this case. All right, now, so we're going to get into this death note that Andre had wrote. Let's go ahead and get into it. Andre Bing had penned a death note in which he complained that his co-workers were idiots who he was angry with for comparing him to a notorious cannibal serial killer. Now, this was revealed to the officials on Friday. They laughed at me and said that I was like Jeffrey Dahmer. Now, why would they compare this? Lord have mercy. They laughed at me and said that I was like Jeffrey Dahmer. Sorry, everyone, but I did not plan this. I promise things just fell in place like I was led by Satan. This is what he wrote before, murdering 6 of his colleagues in the break room at the start of their night shift. Dahmer was a notorious loner who murdered 17 young men, some of whom he tried to turn into sex zombies and some whom he ate body parts of. Jeffrey Dahmer was killed in prison in 1994. Now, the police in Chesapeake, Virginia released Bing's redacted screed, which was discovered doing a forensic analysis of the suspect's phone after his massacre, after which he took his own life. Now, officials also revealed that Andre was a loner as well, who had no prior criminal history, legally purchased the murder weapon, a 9mm handgun, on the morning of the rampage. In his chilling manifesto, Andre apologized for what he was about to do, while blaming others for mocking him. My true intent was never to murder anyone, believe it or not. I was actually one of the most loving people in the world, if you will get to know me. My only wish would have been to start over from scratch and that my parents would have paid closer attention to my social deficit. And that's what he had wrote. He wrote of sensing a demonic aura in a female colleague and at the same time blamed his co-worker for never taking the time to get to know him. Now, in one passage, the 31-year-old regretted not finding a knife that would share his obsessiveness. I just wanted, a wife, not a knife, a wife. I just wanted a wife that was equally yoked as I and obsessed over thought. However, I didn't deserve a wife. Now, why would this man feel like he didn't deserve a wife? He deserved a wife. Everybody deserves someone to be, someone to love. See, here's the thing. People think that when they meet you, and because you're kind of standoffish and you're alone and you're quiet, that something is immediately wrong with you. And that doesn't have to be the case. Some people don't let their guard down or don't get comfortable around people until you get to know them. Once you get to know them, then you will see, okay, this person isn't so bad. Like his neighbor, she said he would wave to him and he would do nothing because maybe he didn't want to speak to her. That doesn't make him weird. You have to stop labeling people as crazy. And why would they even compare him to Jeffrey Dahmer? Like, I'm just so sick of hearing about Jeffrey Dahmer. It's ridiculous. And then he wanted the wife, okay? He was 31 years old, and he regretted not finding a wife that would share his obsessiveness. He said, I just wanted a wife that was equally yoked as I and obsessed over thought. However, I didn't deserve a wife. So he felt like he didn't deserve to be loved. And that's crazy. Everybody deserves to be loved. Being revealed his plan to spare one of his colleagues apparently battling cancer, saying, I have a special place in my heart for you because my mother died of cancer. He also concluded the letter with the words, my God, forgive me for what I'm about to do. I guess he meant to say, may God forgive me for what I'm about to do. Meanwhile, a Facebook post from 2017 has come to light, suggesting that Andre had a history of mental illness. Now, in September of 2017, the gunman's brother, Purvis Bing, wrote in a status update, my brother was battling paranoid schizophrenia around this time, and life was kind of dark. Now, the brother's comment appears to coincide with what Bing had written in his death note about his mental state. I failed my management team and everyone that ever loved me by convincing them I was normal. Also on Friday, police in Chesapeake finally released the name of the 16-year-old boy who was killed in Tuesday's rampage, identifying him as Fernando Chavez Barron. Other victims were previously identified as Brian Pendleton, Kelly Pyle, Lorenzo Gamble, and Randy Belbins, Tanika Johnson. Now, police said Andre, who worked as a night shift manager, entered Walmart's break room just before 10:15 p.m. And this is all, we already know that, okay? And we already know what Jessica had said, that he was picking people out and he was making sure that when he shot them, they was dead, okay? Now, someone who worked with Bing said he had a reputation for being an aggressive, if not hostile, supervisor who once admitted to having anger issues, but he also could make people laugh and seemed to be dealing with the typical stresses at work that many people endure. So like I said, homies, more stuff is going to come out about Mr. Andre, and I think we are going to see his side on why he did this. Okay, now we're going to see his motive or why this happened. And like I said before, I'm not excusing this because I don't, I do not agree with this at all, because people's lives are gone. People's lives are taken. And he turned the gun on himself. So it's not like we could ask him any questions. But he did have some mental health issues. And that was also confirmed on a Facebook post by his brother in 2017. So he was dealing with a lot. Okay, his mother had died from cancer. He was going through certain things. And sometimes when people have a rough life, they do become loners. They very standoffish. And people are quiet. Some people just get quiet. And it may come off as weird to other people. But once you get to know them, they'll open up. And I think this is the case with Andre. He's very standoffish. He had his guard up, because it's like he felt he wasn't normal, but he didn't want to come off crazy to anyone else, which people thought he was kind of weird. It was crazy. But if you're harassing somebody and you're teasing somebody and you're bullying somebody, you don't know, like I said, you don't know what type of mental state people are in. You just don't know. So like I said, I'm not taking up for him because what he did was wrong. And I send my condolences and prayers to the victims' families. But this is just really crazy and sad all the way around. It really is. And for somebody to compare him to Jeffrey Dahmer, oh my God, that's just horrible. That's just really horrible. And that can really mess with somebody's head. You got to be mindful of what you're saying to people out here. All right, you guys, that's all I have on that. If I find out anything else, if more stuff comes out, I will let you guys know. And I'll talk to you soon.